Listening to the Coffee Hour. I'm Sarah Golseth. It is, what day is it? It's Tuesday. Andy's not here today, obviously, because I don't know what day it is. It is Tuesday, August 20th. I have a calendar in front of me. The storms are rolling in here in St. Louis. It's going to be a rainy day here, but that's okay. Andy is off learning about hymns, congregational singing, all the stuff we love talking about here on the Coffee Hour. So maybe we can talk about some hymns when he gets back later this week, because we all love talking about those things. Today we have two great conversations ahead of us. Do you like tractors? And would you like to drive your tractor to church on a Sunday morning? Well, if you're in Missouri, you have a chance to do that, and that would be kind of fun. So we'll talk about that first, drive your tractor to church Sunday. And then in the second half of the program today, one of my favorite things to do, of course, is talk to our missionaries and share their stories. So we get to talk to a couple serving in Sierra Leone and learn about theological education and the work that they're doing there in West Africa. Really exciting stuff. Thanks to Concordia University, Wisconsin for your support of the Coffee Hour. You can find out more about Concordia University, Wisconsin at cuw.edu. Live uncommon. Joining me by phone today from Wellsville, Missouri, is Pastor Luke Wolters, pastor of Grace Lutheran Church in Wellsville. Welcome, Pastor. Thanks for joining me this morning.
Well, thank you, Sarah. Thanks for having me. Good to be with you.
Absolutely. Are the storms rolling in for you guys just yet?
No, but it is overcast, and we're west of St. Louis a bit, so I don't know if we'll get anything or not.
I think they're coming. Out there in Wellsville, now where is Wellsville in relationship to St. Louis for our listeners who are in the St. Louis area?
Yeah, so west on I-70, we're about 80 miles or so, and we're just north of I-70 on Highway 19. So, yeah, about an hour and a half from St. Louis. And
what is the landscape like out there in Wellsville? Is that farm country? I'm not originally from Missouri, so I don't know the landscape out there.
Yeah, it's farm country. Yep. Just cornfields and soybean fields, which are looking pretty good right now.
Oh, that's good. Yep. That's good. I know a lot of farmers are having some issues this year with all of the rain that came through, but good that your fields are looking good. So yep. Grace in Wellsville is our KFUO Radio's Church of the Week this week, which is a fun thing that churches get to do. They get to have a week on KFUO and share their stories and share maybe a special event or something that's coming up. And before we get to your special event, which is a really fun special event, talk a little bit about why Grace in Wellsville supports KFUO in this way.
We support KFUO because, first off, we're a congregation that likes to be aware of a variety of ways in which the gospel can go out. And so whether that's in our own backyard or how we see the gospel going out to places farther away, even to the rest of the world, we see the value in that, and so we see KFUO as just one way in which that happens. We have a number of our own members who appreciate the ministry of KFUO and listen to it themselves, and see that the programming is top notch, and the impact that it can have across the globe, and so we're just happy to be a part of that, even in some small way.
Absolutely. And we appreciate the support, of course. What do you know of some of the ways that your congregation members use KFUO in their daily lives?
Yeah, so I hear from several members, which they have certain programs that they like, and they're tuning in, but beyond that, I think just the fact that KFUO has been around so long, I don't remember exactly how long, but sharing the gospel, and that it can be now with the internet, it can be reached around the world. So, but our members, I know several that have favorite programs, and it'll come up in Bible class, something they heard, they're asking questions. They want to talk about something that they heard that was on KFUO, and that, so it starts those kinds of conversations, and it's just another way outside of Sunday that our people are being engaged with God's Word.
Absolutely. Yeah, we've been around since 1924, so it's a long legacy. We're coming up on our 100th anniversary pretty soon, which is pretty exciting. How is KFUO, how's the programming beneficial to you as a pastor, too?
Well, to me, I have with my busy schedule, I try to tune in to certain programs. Mm-hmm. I feel that it not only helps me, I always hear, things going on in our world, and to hear other pastors talking about that and applying it to God's Word, just even sometimes the study of a particular text is helpful for me in preparing for a Bible class or a sermon, or just being able to be more informed, to talk about a topic and answer questions. So, I find that tuning in, it sharpens me a little bit, mm-hmm. and helps me be able to be better informed.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Yeah. That's good to hear. So, as a Church of the Week, you have the opportunity to share about your church, your story, or something fun happening at your church. So, and we've talked about this before, but it's fun every year. Drive your tractor to church Sunday. I don't think I know of any other congregation that does this, but it definitely should be a thing everywhere. What is Drive Your Tractor to Church Sunday?
Well, first, let me say I have only heard of one other congregation that does that, and it came to as a shock to me. But yeah, so Drive Your Tractor to Church Sunday started maybe about a decade or so ago here, and it started out just kind of small. It was a fun way for a few of our members. Almost all of our congregations involved in farming in some way. They all have tractor. At least one. Mm-hmm. And so it started as a way of just it's just fun, just, hey, drive your tractor to church and just, to share in that kind of a fellowship. But it's grown a little bit. We've had as many as close to 30 tractors. Mm-hmm. We've had some years where we get people from outside of the congregation who, from the community, who just heard about it. And we do promote it within the community a little bit. And so people will come in and it's a fun way just to show off your tractor. People sometimes have a lot of interesting stories. There's a tractor that's been in the family for generations or whatnot, and people like to share those kinds of things, and there's memories that go along with that. It's just really neat, and it's expanded. We've got classic cars and stuff too. People will bring in their ATVs, so it's really fun. We've got kids riding around on their little battery-powered tractors. It's just a fun time.
Yeah, that would be adorable. It sounds like such a great community building event. And I'm assuming this is tractors of all colors too.
Oh yes, we don't discriminate. Yeah, even though we all we'll tease each other about our favorites, but it's just a good time. And yes, we do want it to be to include the community, and we hope that it can continue to grow more in that regard as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, every farmer has their favorite color of tractor. I have learned since marrying into a farming family. You mentioned there's as many as 30 tractors that you've had in the past. Now, you've been at Grace in Wellsville since 2012. How much have you learned about tractors in these last several years?
Well, you're always learning different things. What I find fascinating is just the pride that goes into some of these things and the stories, especially like I said, when there's a tractor that somebody can say, my dad or my grandfather, farmed with this tractor. It's always neat to hear those stories. But I grew up in a farming community, so I have a very strong preference towards a certain color, which my congregation and I, we go back and forth on that. So, it's just fun.
That's good. Is it green?
It is.
Okay, good. Tell me about the rest of the festivities happening that day. This isn't just tractors.
Yeah. So we'll have so people bring their tractors in, and we have our normal worship service at 10 o'clock, and then after that we have a a meal. We call it a picnic, but it's inside at our fellowship hall, and we provide pork steak and hot dogs and hamburgers, and so we'll have a meal. And then we'll have sort of a tractor parade. We call it a parade of power. And so we'll just kind of have everyone get on their tractor, and we kind of have a parade around our church grounds on the street. And then we have games for kids that we usually try to have. And this year we're going to have some prizes associated with that. We've got a horseshoe tournament going on. We've got washers, cornhole, lots of different activities for people of all ages, and it usually goes into mid-afternoon. So. Nice.
And this is this coming Sunday, is that correct?
This coming Sunday, correct, yes.
So that's August 25th at Grace Lutheran Church in Wellsville, Missouri. That is fantastic. Pastor, we are all out of time. It's so fun to talk about tractors, though. Pastor Luke Walters from Grace Lutheran Church in Wellsville, Missouri. Thanks so much for joining me this morning on the Coffee Hour.
You're welcome. Thank you.
More Coffee Hour coming up next. We get to talk to our missionaries. You're listening to the Coffee Hour. I'm Sarah Golseth.